A question that often comes up for discussion as well as for very frantic efforts to find a solution is how to prepare for the interview. Of course, it applies only to those who have cleared the mains, but everyone who starts preparing, starts with this particular topic. How will I be able to face an interview board? Do I have the ability to speak, or would my personality be impressive? Or would the board be sympathetic to me considering my background or my ability to speak? And so many things, which agitate the minds of youngsters. Even those who have cleared the mains have this anxiety whether I will be able to do it well or not. So the basic issue that relates to the interview, to my mind, is what sort of answer should I give? Should I be diplomatic, or should I come out with my own views strongly, or should I take a view that is neutral and which will appeal to the board or will be pleasing to the UPSC or to the government policy, whatever. So this issue comes comes out in the form of questions as well as doubts. So my own advice has been very consistent. I would say you cannot assume another personality for your interview. You need to be yourself. So whatever there is naturally endowed will definitely be brought out by the interview board. And your knowledge, your experience, knowledge does count, but then you are not being interviewed to test your knowledge, which has already been tested and found suitable to be called for interview. So the purpose of the interview is to ascertain the kind of personality that you possess, and your responsiveness and your sensitivity to issues, as well as your ability to maintain a balanced view about many things, which cannot be assumed or which cannot be brought about by an overnight preparation. It is part of your personality, part of your understanding, part of your perception, part of your conviction. So I advise young people, particularly those who are about to start the prelims preparation, even young graduates or graduate students, I would tell them, look here, you need to develop a viewpoint about many things in life. And for a civil service officer, I would say, a life led with values is extremely important. Don't consider that as a philosophic notion or some kind of a artificial method of projecting yourself. No, you must have values, you must have the ability, you must have the courage of your conviction. Even as a student, you may not be able to express it very firmly or very strongly during your early days, and you are not expected either to maintain an extreme view. You are definitely not expected to maintain. But if you have a career in the civil service which is based on being able to help others and being able to be of service to others, then you must have corresponding values which must become part of your life. It's nothing that you can acquire by reading about it or by hearing about it. You need to tell yourself, look here, I am going in for a career in the civil service where values are of extreme importance. Without values, no civil service officer can ever be successful in the long term. Yes, short term you may succeed, but you can see the example of many who have fallen by the wayside only because of the fact that they lacked the particular value which was demanded of him or her at the most critical moment in their careers and their lives. So have a sense of values, have a major thought about what sort of person would you like to be, not to project yourself, but like to be in civil service as well as in your own life. So that is the first thing to decide. And what are the values that you will give the highest priority? You must have those values, whether it is integrity, whether it is transparency, whether it is compassion, whether it is consideration for others, whether it is tolerance, whether it is neutrality. You can have any number of values. Goes to the civil service, integrity remains the most important. And if you have that sense of values in you right from your early days, and you start reading according to them, you start writing according to them, you start analyzing issues in the light of that, you should have that illumination. That should illuminate your mind and should be able to give you the correct answer to the questions. If you practice that make it as a matter of habit, then I think during interview there will be no difficulty in expressing your view. All that is required is that the manner of expression has to be polite and has to be in consideration of the feelings of others and in a balanced and in a style which does not cause any offense to anyone, and which should reflect your analytical mind as well as your ability to understand the viewpoint of others. These qualities, if you have them or if you acquire them at least by practice, I am sure the question of interview will not be difficult at all, because the knowledge level is already tested. It is only your attitude and your personality that are being assessed. And I can assure you that lack of language, proficiency, say you are not proficient in English, that's not going to matter at all. You can answer in any language that you like. What is more important is your attitude to the problem, your ability to analyze it and look at it dispassionately without any prejudice. If these qualities are present, I think a candidate will never find it difficult to face an interview.